Hey, beautiful one. Thank you for joining me this month for the December 2015 Spirit Forecast. Whew. This month is all about deep healing of old wounds to bring about immense spiritual transformations. When I go into a deep meditation with the intention to understand the energies for the upcoming month, I usually do it lying down with my left hand over my heart chakra and my right hand over my sacral chakra. Today, when I went in, my hands went nuts. I've never felt them vibrate so much. And the color of the energy that emanated from my hands was this brilliant purple, which of course is the color of deep spiritual transformation. That's what we're in for this month, is some real deep healing. So in order to clarify this message for you and give you an anchor to follow along with me, I used a tarot card to explain better what I was feeling. This month I used the William Blake Tarot deck, and I turned the card over, and it was the Five of Music. The Five of Music is about sorrow and loss and heartbreak. But more than that, it's underneath that material sorrow, that material loss and losing what you think you want. Underneath that is the opportunity for incredible spiritual transformation. The universe gives us the gift of suffering to use as a catalyst to change our lives, to do a complete 180, to come into our own truth so that we can live our authentic life. Most of us spend our lives padding our true selves with a lot of external stuff. We got to get the job. We got to do the family. We got to, running. We run from our truth because it's big and scary. If we live in our truth, if we really reveal who we are to ourselves and to the world, all of a sudden we have all of this tremendous power. And Spider-Man tells us, with great power comes great responsibility. For whatever reason, we're just wired to run from that. So the more padding that you're doing in your life with external stuff and things and, material things and busyness and what have you, painful emotions are going to come up in order to get your attention. Here's what I want to get across about the potential for emotional upheaval this month. This pain is deep pain. These are traumas that you experience before you could speak, in the first months of your life. That's the level, the depth that we're going here. People who have been living a life with all that padding, it can be very explosive for them. It can come out of nowhere. It can come slap you in the face. You won't even know you were traumatized or had these feelings. This is what is supposed to happen, because that's the big global energy this month, is that whoosh, like a snake bite, like a lightning bolt, that incredible, intense transformation. And you always have a choice. You can do one of two things. You can suffer through it and sort of cower and let it pass, and then you've kind of gone through another suffering bout in your life without much to show for it. Or you can move through that trauma and get to the other side, peel back another layer, and reveal what is really you. Most of us are never taught how to handle our trauma or how to grieve. That's really the important piece here, is grieving. I'm going to tell you exactly how to make this potentially very difficult month be the greatest gift of the year for you. The way through the trauma is into the trauma. You have to sink in and allow yourself to grieve without judgment. For goodness sake, please stop judging yourself for being in pain. It goes back to before you could speak, before you could form thoughts, when all you had was wide open feelings. So first and foremost, get the judgment off the table. Let it be what it is without it having to have any bearing on your inherent goodness as a human being. Second, grieve. Okay, here's what we do. When we run into something painful, we have this reaction: nope, no, close the door on that. We're going to cover that up, tie it up, move on. No, we are not allowed to suffer. We are not allowed to be that kind of person, be that weak person. There it is, going back to your inherent goodness, right? But I'm telling you, if you can sink in, allow yourself to feel every single piece of this trauma and this grief that can well up for us, here's what's going to happen. It's a physical sensation. You'll feel it in your gut. Okay, you'll feel it, and it'll and the physical sensation and the emotional sensation will wash over you. It'll bubble up and then kind of burst over you, and then you'll have instant relief. If you're a mom and you've been through labor, I can liken it to, contractions, the resting period between contractions. That's what it's going to be like. But instead of getting shorter and shorter, like when you're having a baby, those resting periods will get longer and longer and longer. You'll be free. You'll have peace. Spirit guarantees you peace when you can get to the other side of this trauma. The Buddhists say life is suffering because the contrast to that is spirit is love. And suffering is a way that we humans choose to move to love. And that is when it's going to happen, when you can allow yourself to sink in and process your grief and your emotions and your traumas. To get to love, you have to go through and into the darkness, into the suffering, to come out the other side. And once you sink in and you allow yourself to heal by feeling, This will all recede back into the universe. Just be another file in your Akashic record. Doop, there we go. Done with that. Spirit is holding your divine gift on the other side of this month, on the other side of these energies. And that gift is the opportunity for you to live in your highest, most authentic self. When you are able to go in through the trauma to reveal who you are, what you are, that you are this piece of the divine, this integral, important, wonderful, dynamic piece of the divine with your mission on earth in this human body. That's your gift. And you know what? You need your gift, you deserve your gift, and the whole world needs and deserves your gift. You living in your truth helps the whole planet. It helps your neighbor realize that they too can get there if they want to. It raises the vibration, it raises the consciousness of the planet. All of the horrors that we have been suffering globally, shootings and terrorism, horrible things, you doing your part, diving into your trauma, into your grief, and coming out through the other side as a whole spiritual human being does more to raise the quality of the life we live on this planet. Thank you again for joining me for the December 2015 Spirit Forecast. I hope you found this information helpful and you can use this to move forward through the month. You can find me all over the internet. Go to my website, ingridhturner.com. Sign up for my newsletter. You can also find information on getting a reading from me, a one-on-one reading where we can talk more about this and dive into what this really means for you. I would love that. You can find me on my Facebook group, Living in Partnership with Spirit, just on the bottom of your screen then. Take that, plug that into Facebook search, it'll pop right up. You can find me on Twitter at Burst of Brill, and you can find me on YouTube. Just follow the link below. I'm Ingrid Turner on YouTube. Thank you so much, and happy holidays, and happy healing.